Ladies and gentlemen, we get the black pieces for today's video. My opponent is from the USA. They are, 6 hours behind, so, a little bit slow, but that's okay. C6 and D5, that's obviously a joke, any Americans. I absolutely adore all of you. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would just be absolutely tremendous. Okay, we get an advanced Caro-Kann. Okay, and they don't bring the knight out. Instead, they opt for this C3 line. I think I'm meant to just develop my knight and just put even more tension on this pawn. And then they probably bring their knight out, but that's when the bishop comes out, because they bring the knight out to reinforce. Okay, no, they instantly attack, so I think queen a5 is the move, because then if I were to take this pawn, you can't take back because of this pin. I mean, I'm trying to recall, knowledge that I just simply don't have. Yeah, so if I take now, you cannot take back because of the pin. I guess you could go here, and then I go here. But you can take with a queen, that's fine. But now I go here, breaking the pin. And no, that can't be right, because then queen takes. I think I've messed up. Yeah, see what I mean? I was recalling on knowledge that I just simply don't have. Maybe e6? But then I'm locking away my light square bishop. I mean, it just doesn't look particularly appealing. If I break this pin, this pawn is just dead. So I think I kind of have to play here. If you take, I take. Let's go for this. Let's go for this, why not? Okay. I'm going to break the pin now. And I'm assuming that they're just going to take. Yeah, okay, they do just take, because that would just be crazy if they didn't. So material is equal. It's very clear where my knight wants to go on this f5 square, outposted by the e6 pawn. So I think we're doing okay out the opening. I think we're doing okay. They clearly want to push, opening up their bishop here, which is reinforced by this knight. But I'm just going to develop my own knight. If you push... I'm not really sure. Maybe I just go back here, putting pressure on this pawn. Okay, you do retreat. Okay, well, I am going to go back here now, putting pressure on this pawn. I think this makes a lot of sense. You're not really threatening anything, because my bishop obviously defends this, as does my knight. So the bishop can actually come out at some stage. That isn't an issue. But I've got a feeling my opponent is just going to forget that I'm attacking this pawn. Okay, no, they do. Okay, they do reinforce it with f4. God, that just looks really brave, though. I mean, you've just really weakened, the dark squares around your king, and my bishop can develop gaining a tempo with this check. So, that's just great news. I don't really see... I mean, obviously you have to move your king. If you block with the bishop, I just take. So the king has to move into the corner. There's no other way to block, is there? No. Okay, so the king moves in. I mean, this bishop pair is just going to be causing my opponent trouble all game. I am a little bit scared of this, though. Trapping my bishop. So maybe a6 is a move, just to make sure my bishop always has a square to retreat to. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any other threats, which I don't think I am. I think this was the main threat. Obviously, we always would have had, bishop e3. But then, after takes, this g7 square is really weak. So I think this is probably the better idea, just to hide away in the corner here. If you push here, I can obviously take, and take, because this bishop isn't hanging because it's defended by my rook. So I actually think we're doing just fine. I think we're doing just fine. I mean, we're going to get castled, and hopefully press on for a win. But I have got a lot better recently at, if the game's going to be a draw, not just throwing everything at the game to try and get a win. If I get a draw, that's a lot better than a loss. So I'm not actually opposed to a draw these days. I mean, I know back in my heyday, that was never an option, but these days I'm okay with it. I need to put a rook on the d file as well so I can start pushing this pawn. But my opponent is doing a very good job now of reinforcing this d4 square. But I think bringing my a rook over and then this rook over to the e file makes a lot of sense. I mean, if I push, we get takes. Okay, they put a knight there. Wow, okay. That I really wasn't actually expecting. I think I kind of have to take. And then I guess you just take back with your own knight, yeah. Okay, now I could take and take. But I don't really see how that would benefit me. I mean, I kind of want to keep the bishop pair. Obviously, if my opponent takes, that's fine, because then I can start advancing my d-pawn. But I think I'll just play a move like rook e8 for now, because I don't actually think there's any sort of threat in this. I think this only benefits me. So I'm actually going to pre-move this in the hopes that you do take my bishop. Because yeah, then there's nothing in the way of my d-pawn to start pushing. Okay, they probably noticed that. They clearly want to play f5 as well. That's why they've reinforced this pawn. Because when they play f5, this pawn no longer protects the e-pawn. Oh man, this is quite tricky actually. Maybe I take, and then like queen b6? I mean, I could obviously take this pawn now. And then you go here, I take... I don't know, it just looks quite scary after queen takes, because you're really threatening the f7 pawn with the rook and the queen. But I think I should be good just to take this pawn. I mean, it's a free pawn, it's kind of hard to say no. And then we're going to put our bishop maybe here, which looks like a really nice outpost. Obviously, if the knight takes, we can take out the pawn. And again, the same sort of thing, the d file is then open to be exploited. Like, I know I don't really want to trade off this bishop pair, but if the knight takes, if they lose this knight, man, I feel like the game is then in my hands. Yeah, they do push. Okay, so I was looking at taking, then queen takes. I think you put a lot of pressure here, but I don't think it's anything to be too worried about. Yeah, queen has to take. Obviously, I can't take here because after this, I am just losing the exchange. Yeah, I see. I'm really thinking about just bishop b5, because then I'm hitting this rook. I think this makes sense, and if knight takes, I take back, and again, just start pushing my d-pawn. I think this makes a lot of sense. We're up a pawn. My opponent is... I guess this is quite a scary position. This knight is just so strong, and it can so easily swing round. Okay, they just get it double stacked. Okay, maybe I do have to play here, but then the bishop can go in here. Yeah, it is a little bit scary. Maybe this bishop should just drop back, because now we have a lot of pressure on this pawn. And I think my opponent will just get double stacked, but I'm not overly concerned about that, I don't think. Maybe I should be, but I'm just not yet. I'm not. But maybe the move was to take. Maybe this is a mistake, actually, because double stacking does look quite scary. Just because then I'm never going to be able to challenge... Whoa, okay. Whoa. Okay, maybe they're threatening this. But then if I were to just push... Like, what if I just push now, attacking the queen? I don't see an issue with this. Like, you go here, then I take, you take, I take, you take, I take. I see no issue with... Actually, maybe that is quite an issue if you go here. But then I take. And then if you go here, I mate you. Yeah, I'm just going to play g6. I know queen f6 looks quite scary. But because I can take this pawn, and then when you take... Okay, so yeah, I'm still going to take this pawn. Still going to take this pawn, because if you don't take my rook, it's mate. So you have to take my rook. And then my queen defends this diagonal, so their queen can't get onto it to threaten mate. So I think we're actually doing okay here. Okay, now they take my queen, so now I take, and we've got the bishop pair in an endgame, and we're up 2 pawns. I think we've navigated this quite well. I think, and my bishop can be outposted beautifully here, which really reinforces my d-pawn, but also stops their pawns from advancing. So, I don't know, they're sort of like stuck in the mud a little bit here. They are sort of just stuck in the mud here, which is just great news for me. Like, I cannot complain at this position at all. I just don't see a move for white. Like, what do they do? What can they do here? Okay, they can attack my bishop, which is a little bit scary because after takes... I guess they will always have the looming threat of back rank mate, but I can take... You can't play here just yet, so we are fine for now. Maybe just a move like rook c8, in all honesty, because then I'm threatening back rank mate of my own, and it also still defends the threat on my 8th rank. So I am actually just going to play rook c8, just as like a little nod to my opponent that like, hang on a minute, I am still able to threaten mate here. Okay, it's not mate. Oh my god, I thought I just had mate. Wow, that was very lucky actually, because I was about to just pre-move that. Obviously the bishop defends. It's like those memes where the bishop is like sniping you from a mile away. Maybe I just play f5 now, just to make sure there is never any mate. Because that is quite scary. Like, I'm not going to lie, that is quite scary. I have also kind of just hung a pawn here. But then I guess I can play here now. And if you give a check, I go here. Yeah, I think I can just play here now. And just threaten to win both these pawns. Like, you can obviously take, or you can give a check, then I go here. And I think we're doing fine. I know I keep saying that, like... Oh no. That I completely missed. Luckily, everything is defended, so when I go here, it's not like you're winning a rook. I know it would be like here, here. You probably take, then I go here. So, like, they can give me a discover check. Like, they could just take this pawn, which is probably the best move. Okay, they pick up that pawn. That makes sense, yeah. Now I go here. Okay, yeah, so they have, in fact, completely equalised, which is very annoying. That is very annoying. Which pawn is best to take? Probably this d pawn. Probably best to take the d pawn. Because now it's like, how are you stopping this from getting close to promotion? And I can also take the b pawn on my next move. So they play here. Now I just take, right? I see no issue with just taking. I mean, if you go here, I go here. Then you go back and give another check, and then I just run my king up the board, right? Maybe I run this way then. Yeah, maybe I run this way, because I need to just, like, push this pawn. Like, push. I guess you have this check. I mean, you had this check anyway, so I'm not actually scared of this. And you can't go here because my bishop. You can give that check, that's fine. But if you give this check again, now my king is attacking you. And you still can't go here because my king blocks these squares. So it's like, where is your rook going now? Just like rook g7? Do I just push and allow you to take and then run up? I don't know. I don't actually know. I think I am going to push, allow you to take, and then go here, attacking the bishop. I presume you're just going to take on g6, but this pawn, you're allowing this pawn to get so close now. What, like rook here then? Or just rook in behind, actually? Rook in behind is probably best, isn't it? Now, as long as we don't put our king on any of these dark squares, allowing this skewer, we should be good just to pick up the win here. After king to d5, like, how are you stopping this without losing a bishop? Okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. But, like, now I'm going to infiltrate like this. So you need to run your king over, but is it too slow? Is your king too slow? Yeah, your king is far too slow. Okay, beautiful. We should be good now to pick up the win then, because I don't think the king can actually get there in time. So, like, I don't know, king moves over, I go here, bishop drops back. It's very scary. Just here, here, here. Then I guess you have all this, though. So maybe I need to keep this pawn on the board. Then if you give this check... I think I can go here. If you give this check, I go here. Then if you give this check, I just push. Then you take, but then I'm in. Like, if I can get my king to this e2 square, it's absolutely over. It's absolutely over. Okay, so they're clearly looking to get in behind. But luckily my bishop defends this square. So I'm going to go here. My bishop sees this square, so you can't give this check, winning my rook. which is great news for me. Thank the Lord for that. I think they may have missed that my bishop sees e8. Okay, they give a check. So now I just push, right? Now I just push. And you still cannot give this check. I mean, this is so fortunate for me. It's so fortunate. Okay, they come in behind. Okay. Do I just play here now? And then if you go here, I have this pinning you to the king. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is pretty scary for them now. Because I'm also going to march my king forwards. Okay, but now I just march my king forwards, right? Because now my king is also defending this square. I just push, right? Surely I just push. Oh, I don't know, actually. Let's say I were to just push, and then we get, like, all these exchanges, blah, blah, blah. And then you push. Does my bishop have time to get here? It does. Okay, so we can push. I was just wondering if my bishop had chance to get on this diagonal, and also for this pawn to move out the way. Bless me. That was far from ideal. If you just push, that completely loses the game. Because I give this check first. Okay, yeah, I give this check. Your king has to move forwards, and then I promote. Your rook takes. Yeah, this is just over now. Your rook will take, my rook will take. Yeah, this is done. This is absolutely done now. That's GG, sir. This is like territory where I'd be resigning. But I guess time is low, so it's like it's pretty unclear. But with 50 moves in, I've made a queen. You have to lose your rook here, I think. Unless there's a way to, like, I don't know, give checks. Okay, that's pretty brave. If I go here, you don't have any checks. Here, I don't know. Is it better to go this way? Then if you go here, I will still just take. I don't know. Where is best to go? Like here you have this check. Oh wait, I can just take this. What on earth am I talking about? What on earth am I talking about? I literally said earlier for so long my bishop sees e8. I mean, you guys are probably screaming at your screens. That was bad. Okay, let's jump straight into this game review. Just see how we got on. I mean, I don't know if it was particularly good. Oh my god, we played the worst game imaginable. I blundered! Wait, pushing this pawn is a blunder. Why? Just because they can take a pawn. If they take this pawn, the game is even. Oh my god. Wait, no, rook g7 check first. Okay, so this is what they did, isn't it? Just now. And then we start losing pawns. Okay, I kind of see why that would be a mistake. But they allowed me to pick up both pawns. Apparently I had quite a few misses. So rook d4 is a miss. What is that? Guys, you know when you go just completely blind in chess? How did I not see I could just take that bishop? What is wrong with me? What is actually wrong with me? What were our other misses? I mean, I'm just highlighting all the bad here. But that's okay. Bishop takes on d4. And then when you take... What do I have? Oh, I just win a pawn this way. Okay, so that was a miss where I win a pawn. That's fine. Bishop to b5. Wow, it actually wants the knight to take. What move did it want though? I just wanted queen d7, offering a queen trade. Okay. Well, okay. I cannot believe I just missed a free bishop. Guys, that wasn't the best game of chess in the world, but it was fun. We pick up the win, so who cares? Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.